Letting go is not just a decision. It is a profound shift that ripples through your entire being. It is not a simple act, but a transformation that takes root in the depths of your consciousness. Carl Jung spent his life exploring the hidden recesses of the human psyche, uncovering that releasing something is not merely about moving on. It is an inner revolution that reshapes the mind from within. Think about it. Throughout life, we accumulate relationships, habits, beliefs, and emotions that may no longer serve us. Yet, we cling to them out of fear, routine, or the illusion of control. Jung believed that this resistance doesn't just hold us back. It distances us from our true essence. It's like carrying a backpack filled with heavy stones, making each step harder on a path that requires lightness. The unconscious plays a crucial role in this process. It is the deep reservoir within us that stores unprocessed emotions, past experiences, and hidden wounds. Jung argued that when we ignore the inner voice warning us that something is off, we create internal tension. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of freeing stored energy, allowing our authentic self to emerge. Consider the times when you sensed that something was draining you, but held on anyway. Maybe it was a relationship that looked perfect on the surface, but left you feeling empty, or a job that felt secure, but stripped you of joy. What happened when you finally walked away? That immediate sense of relief, of weight being lifted, is just the beginning. However, letting go is not simply about leaving something behind. According to Jung, it initiates an internal restructuring. This shift doesn't happen overnight, as the unconscious operates through symbols, emotions, and dreams that take time to integrate. It's like a river that starts flowing again after being blocked. Once the barriers are removed, life begins to move in a more natural and aligned direction. But here's the real question. Why is it so difficult to let go? Jung's theory points to the concept of the shadow, the hidden part of ourselves that we avoid, suppress, or deny. This shadow may hold fears, guilt, insecurities, or even pride. We resist letting go not because of the thing itself, but because of what it forces us to confront within ourselves. For example, staying in an unhealthy relationship might not be about the other person, but about a fear of being alone, or a belief that you're not worthy of something better. These fears are not external. They stem from unexamined parts of your psyche. Letting go, in this sense, is not just an act of courage. It is an invitation to look inward, to face what is hidden, and to reclaim your power. Jung taught that the shadow does not disappear by being ignored. In fact, it grows stronger, manifesting in repeated patterns, relationships, and choices. True release requires acknowledging this hidden self, embracing it, and integrating it. It is not an easy journey, but it is the path to real growth. Once you face these suppressed aspects of yourself and release what no longer aligns with you, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your perception of the world transforms. It is as if life itself starts to synchronize with your inner truth, opening doors that once seemed shut. This is not magic. It is a natural result of being in harmony with your deepest self. And this is the key. Letting go is not about giving up. It is about trusting. Trusting that by releasing what no longer belongs to you, you are making room for something greater. It is an act of self-honor, an acknowledgement that you do not need to carry burdens that are not yours. When you choose to let go, you are not just freeing physical or emotional space. You're sending a powerful message to yourself. I am ready for something new. It is like opening a window in a room that had been closed for years, allowing fresh air to breathe life into the space. This seemingly simple act has a deep impact, transforming you at every level of your being. Carl Jung argued that the external world is merely a reflection of your inner reality. Everything you experience is, in large part, a projection of what lies within you. So, when you choose to let go, what you're actually doing is realigning that projection. You're allowing yourself to see the world through a new lens, shedding the distortions imposed by fear and insecurity. Have you ever wondered why certain people, situations, or relationships seem to drain you endlessly? Jung explained that this happens because those connections are not in harmony with your true self. Clinging to them means ignoring the signals from your unconscious, urging you to pay attention. But when you finally decide to release them, something shifts. It's as if you're closing a door that was keeping your energy trapped, allowing it to flow freely toward what truly matters. However, this process isn't always easy. Letting go can leave you with a sense of emptiness, a void that can be unsettling. That fear of emptiness is natural. We are conditioned to fill it with external distractions, people, possessions, routines. Yet, Jung taught that this void is not something to fear. On the contrary, it is a sacred space, an opening for something new to emerge. It is like a blank canvas, waiting to be painted with richer, more vibrant colors. Think back to the last time you had to release something significant, a relationship that no longer served you, a dream that once fueled you but no longer resonated. In those moments, it's easy to feel like you're losing something irreplaceable. But with time, you realize that what you gained was far more valuable: clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. Jung believed that this kind of transformation is never accidental. It is the outcome of deep, conscious inner work. Choosing to let go is engaging in a dialogue with your unconscious, confronting your shadows, and allowing them to surface. It can be challenging, but it is also profoundly liberating. As you release, you start to notice subtle yet significant changes in your surroundings. Relationships that once seemed essential fade away, making space for new, more authentic connections that align with who you are becoming. This isn't random. It's the law of synchronicity, one of Jung's most intriguing concepts. Synchronicity occurs when external events mirror your internal state, as if the universe is responding to your decision to live in alignment with your truth. A classic example is the phenomenon of new opportunities appearing once you let go of something that held you back. Maybe you meet someone who shares your values, land a job that fulfills you, or rediscover a long-lost passion. These experiences aren't coincidences. They are signs that you are in tune with yourself. Reaching this point takes courage. It means asking yourself difficult questions. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? Why is it so hard to let go? What part of me is afraid to release it? These reflections not only deepen your self-awareness, but also pave the way for real transformation. Ultimately, releasing something isn't just about letting go. It's about making room for what truly resonates with your soul. It's a profound act of self-respect, a testament to your trust in life's natural rhythm, and a declaration of your willingness to evolve. Living from this place of truth shifts everything. The universe responds in ways beyond logic, revealing new opportunities and unseen pathways. There is a deep power in surrendering. It is an acknowledgement that not everything is meant to be controlled, because life itself knows how to reorganize and realign. When we stop clinging to what no longer serves us, as Carl Jung suggested, we not only transform our present, but also unlock suppressed energies that reconnect us to the core of our psyche, our authenticity. The unconscious, a vast and mysterious realm that Jung devoted his life to understanding, communicates through symbols, emotions, and dreams. When you choose to let go of something weighing you down, you send a direct signal to your unconscious. You are ready to grow. But transformation rarely occurs without resistance. Often our ego, the part of us that craves stability and control, resists the idea of release. This is where deep self-exploration becomes essential. Jung encouraged us to confront our shadow, the hidden aspects of ourselves that we rather ignore. When we release attachments, we inevitably come face to face with this shadow. You might realize that your attachment to an unfulfilling relationship stems from a fear of loneliness, or that your reluctance to change careers is tied to a deep need for external validation. These realizations are rarely comfortable, but they are necessary. By acknowledging them, you begin to integrate them, and within that integration lies your true strength. Something remarkable happens when we finally let go. The fears that once seemed overwhelming begin to dissolve. This is because releasing what no longer belongs to us also frees the emotional energy trapped in that attachment. That energy, once stagnant, now becomes a force that fuels our intuition, creativity, and ability to make decisions aligned with our true essence. Jung believed that this release of energy was crucial for connecting with the self, the deepest, most complete version of who we are. As we shed the layers of conditioning and societal expectations, we move closer to a state of wholeness. But how do we know if we are on the right path? According to Jung, the answer lies in synchronicity, the phenomenon where external events align meaningfully with our inner world. These are not mere coincidences. They are signs that we are in harmony with life's greater flow. Perhaps you've thought of someone only to receive a message from them moments later. Maybe you finally walked away from a toxic situation and suddenly new, uplifting connections enter your life. These experiences are not random. They reflect your internal alignment. However, this journey is not without its challenges. Letting go often leads to periods of uncertainty where you question whether you made the right choice. This is natural. Change is always accompanied by a transition, a space where the old no longer exists but the new is yet to fully arrive. But this space is not empty. It is fertile ground for growth. Jung described this process as alchemical. Just as ancient alchemists sought to transform lead into gold, we transform our wounds and limitations into wisdom and personal power when we release what no longer serves us. This transformation takes time, as deep change never happens overnight. But with each step forward, you move closer to a life of authenticity and fulfillment. As you experience the benefits of letting go, you begin to notice that it doesn't just change your relationship with yourself. It also reshapes your connections with others. The people who once drained your energy fade away, making room for relationships that align with your truth. Life doesn't become perfect, but it does become real. And in that authenticity, you discover a peace that cannot be bought, forced, or faked, only lived. You realize that control is not a prerequisite for security. Instead, you learn to trust life, understanding that chaos is not inherently negative, but rather a catalyst for transformation. Jung believed that chaos precedes order, so instead of resisting change, you begin to embrace it. No matter how unsettling it may seem, every shift is guiding you towards something greater. When you adopt this mindset, you naturally attract abundance, peace, and opportunities, not because you're chasing them, but because your energy has shifted. You are no longer trapped in cycles of fear and attachment. Instead, you move through life with confidence, openness, and authenticity, and that energy is magnetic to the universe. As you align with your true self, an extraordinary shift occurs. Your perception of reality transforms. What once seemed chaotic, confusing, or painful now begins to reveal its deeper meaning. Jung referred to this as awakening to the wholeness of a psyche. Letting go of what no longer resonates with you not only creates space for new, but also allows the most profound aspects of your being to emerge with clarity. This is a moment of transformation, almost mystical in nature. Suddenly, opportunities arise at precisely the right time, the right people cross your path, and the answers you once sought externally begin to surface from within. This is not mere coincidence. It is a natural outcome of aligning with your truth. Jung described this state as a harmonious balance between the conscious and the unconscious, where both work together seamlessly. However, this journey is not without its trials. Along the way, you may face doubts and feel tempted to retreat into the familiar, the comfortable. The ego, that part of you that fears losing control, may whisper that letting go too quickly is risky, that perhaps you should hold on just a little longer. This is where true strength comes into play. Jung believed that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it and move forward despite it. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you completely released everything that holds you back. Think of the space you would create, not only in your external world, but also in your mind and heart. That newfound space would fill with clarity, inspiration, and boundless potential. It would feel as though, by surrendering, you are reconnecting with the infinite source of creativity and power within you. Letting go also has a profound effect on relationships. Jung suggested that our connections with others serve as mirrors of our inner world. If you cling to relationships that do not serve you, it may be a reflection of unhealed wounds, perhaps a lack of self-love or fear of being alone. But when you make the choice to release those connections, you are not just freeing yourself from emotional burdens. You are sending a powerful message to the universe that you are ready for deeper, more meaningful bonds. The relationships that enter your life after you let go tend to carry a different energy. They are lighter, more fulfilling, and based on reciprocity rather than dependence. These connections do not ask you to change who you are to fit in. Instead, they inspire you to be more fully yourself. Something else happens when you let go. You begin to reconnect with your dreams. Those dreams that you had set aside, dismissed as unrealistic or abandoned because life got in the way, suddenly resurface. By shedding the weight of what no longer serves you, you regain the courage and energy to envision what you truly desire, and more importantly, to take action toward it. Jung emphasized that personal transformation is not a final destination, but an ongoing process. Each time you release something that no longer aligns with you, you take another step toward wholeness. That does not mean the path is linear. There will be moments of uncertainty, setbacks, even pain. But each of these moments serves a purpose: to teach you something new about yourself, to help you integrate the parts of you that have long been hidden. In this process, self-compassion is essential. To be kind to yourself means accepting that you do not have all the answers, understanding that mistakes are part of growth, and acknowledging that it is okay to feel fear or sadness. These emotions are not signs of failure. They are proof that you are fully experiencing the human journey. By allowing yourself to feel them, you also give yourself permission to heal. The result of this deep inner work is a life that feels more authentic, more aligned with who you truly are. You no longer seek validation from the outside world because you have found acceptance within. You no longer feel the need to control every detail because you trust in the flow of life. And you no longer cling to what is not meant for you because you understand that what is truly yours will always find its way back to you. Carl Jung recognized that true freedom is not something we find outside ourselves, but rather a state we cultivate within. It emerges when we break free from the invisible chains of fear, guilt, and attachment, choosing instead to live with authenticity and trust. When you embrace this path, you don't just transform your own life, you influence the world around you. Every act of self-honesty sparks a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same and creating a wave of transformation that extends far beyond you. Living in alignment with your truth initiates a profound shift, not just internally, but in how you engage with the world. Jung believed that those who embrace their inner shadows and fully integrate their true essence develop a powerful presence, an energy that doesn't need words to be understood. This happens because by letting go, you stop battling yourself and resisting life. You begin to flow effortlessly, becoming someone who moves with confidence, inspires naturally, and acts from a place of deep truth. Think about this. Every time you hold on to something that no longer serves you, whether it's a relationship, a limiting belief, or a deep-seated fear, you are expending an enormous amount of energy. Instead of channeling that energy into creativity, joy, or new possibilities, it becomes trapped in maintaining what is already obsolete. The moment you release it, you reclaim that energy, allowing yourself to build a life that genuinely reflects your deepest values. Jung described this state as a return to wholeness. He believed that within each of us lies an infinite source of wisdom, a sacred connection to something greater. However, this connection is often buried beneath layers of conditioning acquired throughout life. The process of letting go gradually dissolves these layers, revealing your true self. In this state of clarity, you no longer live according to external expectations, but instead from the core of who you really are. That doesn't mean that releasing will make life effortless or that challenges will disappear. Difficulties will still arise, but your relationship with them will change. No longer will obstacles feel like enemies. Instead, they will become opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Jung suggested that what irritates us in others can actually serve as a mirror, offering a deeper understanding of ourselves. This perspective shift is one of the most profound gifts that come from letting go. One of the most beautiful transformations that occurs through release is the awakening of intuition, that quiet inner voice, so often drowned out by the noise of the external world, begins to grow stronger. It's as if clearing your internal space allows you to hear with greater clarity what your soul has been trying to tell you all along. This intuition becomes your compass, guiding you toward relationships, choices, and experiences that truly align with your purpose. With this deeper connection also comes an overwhelming sense of gratitude, not just for the joyful moments, but also for the struggles that have shaped you. Jung believed that enlightenment is not achieved by imagining beams of light, but by bringing awareness to the darkness within. This idea encourages us to see our shadows, mistakes, and losses not as burdens, but as essential pieces of the puzzle that forms our life. Imagine, for instance, that you spent years in a relationship that made you question your worth. At the time, it might have felt like an unbearable weight, something that drained your energy and clouded your sense of self. But now, looking back, you can recognize how that experience shaped you. It taught you the value of setting boundaries, honoring your self-worth, and prioritizing your well-being. Letting go of that relationship was not just about creating space in your life. It was a catalyst for growth, a necessary step that prepared you for something greater. Jung also spoke of the importance of archetypes in this process. When you choose to release, you awaken and explore within the part of you that is willing to venture into the unknown with courage and curiosity. This inner explorer does not fear change. Instead, it welcomes transformation as an opportunity to uncover new aspects of the self and the world. By embracing this mindset, fear dissolves into excitement and uncertainty transforms into endless possibilities. But it's important to understand that letting go is not a single event. It is an ongoing practice, a daily commitment to examining what you are holding on to and questioning whether it still serves you. Sometimes, letting go means walking away from a relationship. Other times, it is about shedding a limiting belief, releasing an unhelpful habit, or shifting a perspective that no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Every small act of release, no matter how insignificant it may seem, brings you closer to your truest self. The most powerful aspect of this process is that as you live with authenticity, you become a guiding light for others. Jung once said, "He who looks outside dreams, he who looks inside awakens." And when you awaken, you unconsciously inspire those around you to do the same. This brings us to an essential question. What could you create if you let go of everything that no longer serves you? What relationships, projects, or dreams could you manifest if you stopped carrying the weight of the past? These questions are more than just food for thought. They are reminders of the limitless potential you hold within. Jung taught that real transformation does not happen outside of us, but deep within our psyche. When you release, you're not just breaking free from the past. You're opening yourself to a future filled with new opportunities. You are choosing to live from a place of trust, connection, and authenticity. And while this choice may seem simple, it carries the power to change everything. Ultimately, letting go is not just about freedom. It is an act of courage. It is the realization that you do not need to cling to anything that no longer aligns with your growth. True transformation begins within, by facing your shadows, integrating your emotions, and trusting in the unfolding of life. As you release, you are not only breaking the chains of the past, you are making space for the new, the meaningful, and the aligned to find their way to you. This journey is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It is a path toward wholeness, where every choice, every connection, and every experience resonates with your deepest truth. And in doing so, you do not just transform your own life, you inspire others to do the same. Because when you shine, you encourage those around you to step into their own light. So now, I invite you to reflect. What are you holding on to that no longer aligns with you? What could you gain if you had the courage to release it today? This is your moment. Within you lies everything you need to create a life that reflects your authenticity, your purpose, and your connection to the universe. And so, as you stand at this crossroads, remember, you have the power to create a life that aligns with your truth, your purpose, and your highest potential. Every step you take toward letting go is a step toward the life you were meant to live. Trust yourself, embrace the journey, and know that the universe is always guiding you towards something greater. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe and join this journey of transformation and self-discovery. Together, we rise, we evolve, and we create the lives we truly deserve. Your next chapter begins now.